Huaraz is a quiet village sitting high on the Andes Mountains in Peru. It's an unlikely site for what some are calling the modern-day battle between David and Goliath. The David in this story is Lliuya, a farmer and mountain guide. In 2015, Lliuya filed a lawsuit against the German energy company RWE. In the case, Lliuya argued that RWE's greenhouse gas emissions have contributed to environmental damage that could cause massive flooding in his hometown. He says the company has a responsibility to address these issues.
Should Lliuya prevail under German law, he will not be the last to try to do so. So lots of people are watching this case, and given how ubiquitous the effects of climate change are, if he can persuade a court to tell an emitter that they owe someone money because they emitted and that person suffered damages traceable to the emissions, there's a lot of people who are going to show up saying, "Me too."
Lliuya's case reflects a growing consensus that climate change is a human rights issue.
Environmental issues have widespread impacts on other rights. Climate change in particular is really, in a sense, really the biggest issue of our time. And in that respect, it's also the biggest human rights issue because its impacts are so widespread.
One of the challenges in the context of climate-related policy is telling a story. Most people understand things in narrative terms. They understand them in dramatic terms. And climate doesn't really lend itself to easily articulated tales of human existence. This is an example of that. This is an example where, in a relatively concise fashion, you can explain how someone in a distant land is affected by a bunch of power plants across an ocean in a way that is traceable and seeks recompense. He's not trying to shut them down. He's just trying to prevent them from harming him further. This is a really accessible story, and one that people not only can understand, but potentially can identify with. And so, we'll see, but you can imagine this kind of story becoming a source of more coherent political views, not only around the world, or rather not only in the US, which is where I tend to focus my attention, but around the world as efforts grow to address climate change, not only through litigation, but through other ways as well.